Welcome to Shad Life. Well, you're just gonna have to excuse the mess that I have going on here. I have multiple projects. Still working on getting my S&M BJ set up how I want it. Having problems with the chain and the length and all that, so I ordered a new chain, and then this should be ready to go here within a few days. But this video is going to be about back sweep. And what I don't understand is, why does the bicycle industry not give you more options as far as back sweep goes? They all have decided that more back sweep is better for everybody, and I just absolutely do not agree. And I really don't agree on the BMX side of things. Back in the 90s, BMX bars were almost flat. They were like, 3-degree back sweep and things like that. And I loved it. They were super comfortable and so on. And I used to run like Robinson bars and GT bars in the 80s because they had less back sweep and things like that. But for some reason, on the BMX side of things, they've decided 11 to 13 degrees is what everybody should be riding. And it annoys the crap out of me. So that's why I actually run a race bar, because in the racing world, they actually have bars with less back sweep. And I would actually prefer like a 3 to 5 degree back sweep versus, the 6 to 8 or whatever these are. But at least it's not 13, which I really don't like. So on the mountain bike side of things, I feel like, like 8 degrees has kind of become the norm, right? And it's better, but I still don't like it. And then you see, companies coming out with more back sweep, and then they just talk it up like it's the greatest thing on the planet. And then you have these Jones bars that are even more back. And, just this whole idea that, oh, more back sweep is better for everybody. It's just this great game changer and things like that. Not everybody's built the same. And I am definitely somebody that when I have more back sweep, my arms get sore. They don't feel right. I have to twist my wrists funny ways, or my hand isn't completely grabbing the handlebar. I'm grabbing the handlebar with my index finger and middle finger and thumb more, and my pinky and ring finger do hardly anything because my hand isn't turned fully on the bar. And yeah, I can bring my elbows in, right? But then that's not comfortable for me because I have wide shoulders and what are these again, lats or something? But I'm a very significant V shape, and so having my arms in just doesn't feel normal. It just feels so awkward and not comfortable. So my elbows do tend to be out. They're not straight out like this. They're not way in. They're kind of somewhere in the middle, right? So what I'm going to do is show you what I mean by doing this. And I've done this on my channel before, but I'm going to redo it. So you basically take your grips, and these are kind of handy because I can just tie them right there. And I'm doing them approximately, I think they're right around 32 inches. Most of my bars I've cut down to 31. But this is just to kind of show that this is, a good example of what my back sweep should be. And so I'm gonna grab a hold of these, hold them in my hands, relax, get in my comfortable position, and then place them down on the bench here, so then we can compare them to these handlebars. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so what I do is I hold both grips in my hand like I would riding my bike. I relax my shoulders, I hinge forward, soften my knees just to try to get in that riding position. And I try to relax my elbows. Now it's really important that I just kind of naturally relax. This is my natural position that my body wants to be in. And I actually have to push the grips into my hands because I'm so used to them, my hands being like this, that I need to actually manipulate them to feel more like they should. And then I'm gonna relax, okay? And then I'm gonna slowly turn I'm going to set these down, trying not to, I mean, this isn't a perfect science, but it'll do pretty good. Okay, yeah, that, stop, okay, there we go. Now that I've done that, and I can look down, and I'm going to go ahead and switch angles, we can compare this to the handlebars. Now I wish that I had a way to measure these degrees, but I don't. If I had like a protractor or something like that, that'd be the simplest way, but I actually do not have a protractor. So we're just gonna have to eyeball it, but let's come take a look at these. And if you come right from the top and look down, you can see that there isn't much back sweep at all. Now, if I take the handlebar and compare, look at how much more back sweep. I'm gonna line the handlebar up, right? So this is one handlebar. I'm gonna go grab another pair that has less back sweep than these and show you those. Okay, these are race face bars. I think they're Atlas, if I remember right. We'll check in a minute. See how the width is very close? Look at how much more back sweep. And I'm holding this to be as if they were perpendicular on the fork. I generally tend to angle my bars back a little bit, but look what happens when I do that. Even more back sweep. So back sweep is measured if the bars were perpendicular to the ground. I tend to like to angle them back. So my question is why is this the standard? And I believe these are 8 degrees if I remember right. And it's like, why is that the standard back sweep? Why can't I go and select handlebars with different variances of back sweep? Like if we're talking about ideal bike fit for people, back sweep is another one of those things that you should be able to adjust by buying a handlebar that allows you to have what's ideal for your body. And so that's kind of my issue, is I feel like they've decided that there's this ideal back sweep for everybody, and it's not true. Everybody's a little different. Somebody else could do this test and they could have these like way back like this, right? And then, you know, go ahead, you know, if you do the test and you're like that, then go ahead, get a Jones handlebar, right? But like it shouldn't be the same for everybody. And again, I kind of talk about the bike industry a lot, and one of the things they do, and this is that thing about chainstay length, they pick a medium-sized chainstay length, and then regardless of how long or what size bike it is or how long the top tube is, they keep the same chainstay length, when in reality you should get a shorter chainstay length when the top tube is shorter, medium when the top tube's in the medium size, and longer chainstays for large, and even longer yet for XL. Like that makes sense, because as the rider gets taller, their center of gravity changes, and then the chainstay should match, right? But they don't do that, and I feel like that's because of cost. Some bike companies do. Actually, Norco does with Norco Fluid, which is what I really like about that bike. But they do the same thing with handlebars, is they don't give you options that fit your body better. And that's my pet peeve for today. It's like, hopefully that changes. Honestly, if I had the capacity or the ability to come out with my own handlebars and have variances of back sweep and variances of rise and up sweep and all of that, I'd probably come out with like maybe 3 different back sweep options, and with probably 2 or 3 different rise levels. If I could do that and afford to do that, I absolutely would, because I feel like this is something that's so needed in the bike industry, but it just doesn't exist. I appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace.